Hello everyone. In this lecture, we are going to do OOPS, that is our object-oriented programming in Python. OOPS are very diverse, but the kind of OOPS we are gonna discuss is our class-based OOPS. This lecture can be a little lengthy, but I would be covering each and every concept of OOPS, and also every topic till date we have done is available in our playlist, and I would be attaching the link of the playlist in the description box, so do check it out. And also, if you have any doubt, let me know in the comment section. Now we are going to do OOPS. So what basically OOPS is object oriented programming, and the OOPS we are going to discuss is our class based OOPS. So what are classes? Classes basically generally represents the real world entities. What do you mean by real world entities? Real world entities are basically like the things which exist, like car, student, or you can say teacher, anything that exists. So that is our class, and which is called a real world entity. Now, why do we need the use of our OOPS or classes? So suppose we have to store our students data of 30 students of our class. So we would not be calling our function again and again. It would become a complex task, and the readability of the code becomes poor, which we don't want. As a good programmer or as a good developer, our main aim should be that the readability should be good of the program and the complexity is reduced. So first we will be doing classes which show real world entities. So let me mark my topic, that is our classes. Now first I would simply write a code, then I would explain you each step one by one, so you don't have to be in a worry situation that what is going on. So first we would make our class. So for that I would be using our class keyword, and after that suppose I want for a car. So I would simply write this. Now I would be defining my attributes. So now what we have done is first we have made our class with the help of a class keyword, and after that we have write the name of our real world entity, that is car. So now suppose we have to store properties of a car, which can be its name or its color. So I would be define so in classes the properties are called attributes. So we would be defining our attributes with the help of the keyword def. After that we will initialize our variables. For that we would use two underscores after and before init. And in the parenthesis we would use a specific word self, which is very important if you are defining any class. So after that, defining our self keyword, we would use our attributes. Suppose I want to store car's name or color. So I would write name and color, and after that I would be defining it like this. So I don't think you have any doubt till now. So now in classes till now we have seen how can we create a class. After that, how can we initialize our attributes. So we have initialized two attributes till now, that is name and color, which suggest the properties of a car, which can be any car. So now after that we would define its method. Now what does method do in classes? Method basically prints everything that we want to print. Suppose like I write def keyword which is defining my method, and after that we would be writing our method name. Suppose I write get speed, that it would print speed for me. In the parenthesis I would write self keyword, which is necessary as I have told you in method, while defining method or while defining our variables. So after that, suppose I want to print the thing which I want to do is defined in our method. So I want to print the speed of the car. So I would write top speed of. So after that, I would write my car name. So it would not be in the parenthesis, and otherwise it would print as it is. So I would be using my plus operator. After that, I would write self dot name. The top, so I want to write top speed of this car is this. So I would write my car name, which I can write with the help of self dot name. Top speed of car is, so I'm writing top speed of this car is, so I would write it in parentheses 150 kilometer per hour. So now I would make an object. What does object does? Object calls our attributes. Now where are our attributes? We have to find attributes in our init method. These are attributes. So object would call attributes for a specific value. Now here you can see we didn't have given our name or color. So in the object we would call our class and give attributes name. So suppose I make any attribute display, like I write my attribute name as display, and I would call my car class, and in the parenthesis I would be writing the values for name. Suppose I want Honda car, so I can simply write Honda, and color I can write anything. Suppose I write red. Now if I want my final result to be printed, I would call my method, because in method we have write what to print. So I would call my method with the help of our object. Object are also called instances. Both are same things. So we will call our method with the help of object. So I would simply write display dot get speed, which is our method name. After that a parenthesis. Now if I try to print it, you can see, let me give some space. You can see, but it is printing top speed of Honda car is 150 kilometer per hour. So what I do basically is first I print my car. First I made a class that is car. After that, in my constructor, init is a constructor. So what what we do in it in init method is that we basically write our attributes for what attributes we want. What are the properties of our you can say class. So name and color are some properties. There are many properties of car, but we have taken two now. So I take my two attributes and I define it with the help of my self keyword. After that, we are defining a method. What does method do? Method is try to print something. So it is printing. Top speed of this card is this. So after that, I will call my class with the help of an object. Okay. So with the help of an object, we are calling our method. We are calling our class. In the class parenthesis, we are giving the values for which values I want to do this thing. So after that, I am just calling my method. So this was first example. Now let me take you to another example. Let me comment it out. Suppose I want a class student in which I would be printing his name, age, and you can say grade. So now I have made a class student. Now I would define my you can say attributes, the properties. So what properties? Self is must, you know. So what are the properties? Now we are uh, basically want to print his name, age, and grade. So these are the properties. So now I would simply initialize it. Now you can see I have initialized all the attributes. Now suppose I want to print something about the student. So I would simply write a method. I can give any name to the method. Suppose I give details, display details of student. In the parentheses, we would be writing self, which is very necessary, as I have told you. It basically self tells that it like I have write to self dot name. So self any name which I would be entering later on, it is for a particular student. No other student can take it. So self basically ensures a place for a particular variable. So in this pose, I want to print the name, and we can't directly write name. We have to write in self dot name like this. The name of student, you can write with age. So I would write self dot age with age. With age, this is having grade B. So I can write in this manner. Sorry, I have to write here self dot grade. So now I have also defined my method. Now I would call simply create an object to call my class and give it and assign it some values. For it would be displaying me the output. So suppose I can write any method like student. Now I would call it for student. You can see both student have uh, S letter different. Means one is uppercase, one is lowercase. Because Python is a case sensitive language. So I would simply call it for my, suppose I write in first parameter Rohan, after that age 20, grade B, like this. So if I print now, okay, so I have not called my method. So I would simply call it like this, student dot display details. Now if I print it, it is giving me some error. Now let me check what is the error. Can only concatenate string not integer. So I have write integer which is age. So let me remove this. Now if I write the name of student with age 20, you can say in this manner, is having grade this. So if I write, let me give some space. So if I write this, so it is printing the Rohan of student. So I can write in some more meaningful language, like I can write Rohan. So for that I would write self dot name. Rohan is having a grade B. So I would simply write self dot grade. Like this. It would be some meaningful language. Now if I print it, it is writing Rohan is having a grade B. So like this way, we can now suppose this was one example. Now if I want to print it for another student, I don't have to write the whole function again and again. I would simply just call my method and give some values to it. Sorry, call my class and give some values to it, and then I can simply print it. I don't have to write the code again and again. So this is the right and correct way to write classes and objects in Python, and this reduces complexity to a greater extent as well. So this thing is very important. Now suppose I want to change the grade of the student. Suppose at some time the student was having a grade B, but he have improved that grade. So I can simply write a method for to improve the grade of the student. Suppose let me make the same class student, which is having some attributes like our name and suppose grade. Now if I try to print it, first I would initialize my attributes. Now I would write the same method, you can say display details of the student, in which I would be writing self parameter. Now if I want to update the grade, I can basically I'm you can say it is a new topic in which how to upgrade our attributes with the help of objects. So this is our next topic name. Suppose I want to upgrade the grade. So I would in my method I would be having a new attribute that would be new grade. Let me write it a new name, that is new grade. What does it is doing is if I want to upgrade something, upgrade an attribute, so I can simply write that new attribute and I can initialize it in the my method. So I would write self dot new grade, sorry, self dot grade equals to new grade. Now for example, I'm making an object in which I would calling my class. In this I write the name as Rohan and the grade as B. Suppose now the student has upgraded its grade. So while displaying my method, uh, basically while calling my method, I can simply upgrade my grade. Like I would write student dot display details, in which I would be writing first my name, after that a grade A. Now if I try to print it, it is giving error. Student dot display details take two arguments, but three were given. Let me see. If I remove it, okay, so I have to write my grade here, not here. Now if I have to write my upgraded grade here. Let me see what it is saying. Display detail mission one. Word positional. So okay, I'm not printing it, I guess. It is giving error due to this. If I print it, it is giving none. What basically the error is coming, I'm unable to find it. I will tell you about this a little while. So leave this question right now. I would be telling this after some while. So uh, our next topic would be, let me comment it out first. So now we have learned how to make classes, objects, and how can we call methods. Now, the next important topic is inheritance. Now, you have seen in our normal lives uh, that we say that this child is inherit some properties or some characteristics of his father or grandfather due to genes. So, same case is in Python. We are giving another class. Suppose we have a class which is already existing, and we make a new class which and I want to give it some properties of the previous class, which is the base class, which is already made, or the parent class. So I want to give some properties to the new class of the base class. So I would inherit its properties by adding additional attributes. So I can additionally add some more attributes to the new class. Let's suppose I have a class which is car, in which I am defining some functions, some attributes, sorry, which can be name and color. Now, if I define it, now suppose after some time we are making a new class, uh, for which suppose our new class is vehicle. Now, Suppose I want to make a new class which is our vehicle. Now I want some of the properties in some of the attributes or properties which I want to inherit from my previous class, which is our base class, that is car. So I want to inherit some properties from our class, that is car. So I would simply write uh, car in my parentheses while creating a new class, that is our vehicle. So in this also, uh, uh, let me wait. Yes. So in this also, it would automatically uh, have assigned some properties. Sorry, it automatically would be assigned some properties of name and color. All the properties of name and color, because we are inheriting our car. So now suppose I want to also add brand in it. So I can simply add brand to it. So now if I print it, I initialize its variable or attributes. Sorry, we don't write here brand. We would write brand here because we are initializing attributes. Let me wait. So now if I try to print it, so I would write name. It would inherit all the properties of name which were present in car, and also in same case it would inherit all the properties of color which was there in car. Now I am just adding some more properties of brand which were not in our class car. So I can inherit the properties of the you can say base class, plus I can inherit also plus also I can add some properties according to my requirements. Now if I try to print something with an method, suppose that I def get display, suppose, and in this I would write self. Now I can print anything. I can write the I can simply write, you can say, suppose I want to write the color. We can write the color of self dot name, that would be our car. So write Honda. The color of Honda is, you can say, I write is self dot color with brand. You can add brand. Suppose I want to print something like this. So I can do this. And now I would create a, you can say, a, sorry, object. Suppose I write small vehicle equals to vehicle. I would simply give some properties. Suppose my car name is Honda. Its color is red. And brand is anything. What brand can I add? Suppose as I don't have uh, currently in my mind, so I'm writing just BMW. So now if I try to call my method, that is display, vehicle dot display. Now if I try to print it, it is printing the color of Honda is red with brand BMW. So now what we have done is we first have make a class card, which is our base class or our parent class. We have given it some attributes. After that, we have made a class vehicle, which is inheriting some properties of the class card. That is our name and color. It is inheriting. Now suppose I want to add brand in it. So I would in vehicle I can simply write brand in it. So it would add brand also. Now we can simply just uh, with the help of method we can print anything. Suppose if I comment it out, it will still run because it is inheriting the property of the base class car like this. So if I try to print now, no, it would not print. Why? Because we have to again write the same attributes. Though it is inheriting the properties of the base class that is car. So this was our inheritance method. Now the next thing we are gonna do is let me wait. Okay, so the next thing we are gonna do is our data abstraction and data encapsulation. Both are very important concepts in our Python. So what both of these do is so in data data abstraction basically is the process of hiding our internal details. Now what do you mean by hiding internal details? Suppose in Python, the difference between procedural programming and object-oriented programming is basically our data hiding. So, but you have seen that before using OOPS in Python, our data was visible to everyone. Suppose there is some personal data of user and I want to hide it. So that comes under our data abstraction. Means you are just data abstraction. If I write its definition, so basically it is the process of providing any essential details while hiding unnecessary details. Now, what do you mean by this? So, data abstraction is basically we are providing essential details to the user. Like in the earlier examples, I was just showing how this thing is printed. The color of the car is this with brand this. So I was not showing you the code. Suppose in the backend you don't know the code, but just you are familiar with the output. Like suppose you have a student website. You in that thing you don't know what is written in the backend, how the code is written. Just you are familiar with, you have to fill the details of name here, details of class here. You are familiar with this method, but you don't know what is the code behind it. So without knowing what is the code behind it and only providing essential things to the user which are of his benefit is uh, sorry comes under data abstraction. And the next important top thing is data encapsulation. Now, what is data encapsulation? Data encapsulation is combining both data and its functions by hiding the essential data. Now, you would say both are the same things, but no, both aren't the same things. Now, what are functions? Functions are basically methods. The method like display we have talked about. So, any name you can give to methods. So, functions and methods both are same. Don't be confused between both of them. So, 1 second. So, what do you mean by data encapsulation? Basically, we are combining data. Like in this case, we are combining data and our methods as well. We are combining both of them, and we are hiding all the details from the user. And how can someone assess these details? With the help of only functions or methods. Like we are assessing these details with the help of our method and or functions. So this is the case of data encapsulation, in which we can assess the data with the help of functions and methods only, which are visible, which are there in the class. But in data abstraction, we are not familiar with any of one of these things. No, we are not familiar with our methods, no functions. We are just familiar with what is written on our screen. That is uh, the output. So I can also add one thing, combining both data and its function by hiding the essential data, and we can assess that data with the help of member functions, or you can say functions. So this was data encapsulation. So now we have seen inheritance, data abstraction, data encapsulation. Now there is one more thing, that is how can we write private or public data. So we can there are two ways, you can say, of showing data to public. Now, one we have already talked about is that our private method, sorry, our public method, in which uh, all the examples still now we have learned is of our public method, which in which data can be seen to others. Now, how can we write our private method? Now, what happens in private method? We can uh, assess the data with the help of only those methods which are already in the class. Like in our this example class car, our display method was a part of our class vehicle. So I can only assess uh, the vehicle's data. Suppose there I cannot abstract the data which is in the car class, because both are different classes. So basically I want to say is you cannot assess the data which is in the uh, another class. So private method, it has some limitation, that is we cannot assess the data present in other class. So how do we write a private method? Now we would be seeing that. Suppose let's take the example of a student class, and I am defining it some you can say attributes. I'm just giving two attributes, name and class. Or you can say, yes, name and grade, you can say. Sorry. So I'm initializing it. Now I have initialized my attributes. So if I want the data to be private, I don't want others to see the data. So in the methods, we would use first our def keyword, and after that, suppose I want my method name to be display details. So before that, I would be using two underscores. What does these underscores mean? They mean we are showing private data. So now we would write the name of our method. In that, I would be writing self. So after that, we would print anything. So now when I am clicking on my private method, it is showing on the top underscore display details is not accessed, means it cannot be accessed by everyone because it is a private data. And before our method we have to use two underscores to make it a private data. So in the print statement we would be writing, you can say, suppose we can uh, write the name which comes in self dot name, the name of student, or you can say, like in previous example I have printed the grade, I can also write in that manner. Self dot name is having a grade, I can write B plus, in which I would write self dot grade. So now I can make a object like in earlier examples. In that I would be giving some name like this. I have given name as well as grade. After that I can call my method. Uh, so if I now try to print it, now you can see it is giving an error. Why? Student object has no attribute underscore display details. Now if I want to not show my essential details, I want to keep it in a private method. So I would simply in my methods also I have to initialize my attributes. Now how we would initialize? We would write self dot name, for example name. So I would write self dot double underscore name. I would write like this, and after that I would write my name. Now it suggests that it is a private variable. After that self.grade, in which I would be writing grade. So now if I print it, it is still giving me error student object has no attribute display details. So in this case, I try to copy paste it. In line 62 it is giving some error. Okay. So let me make this clear. With the help of a website, I am facing some issues. Let me make it clear with the website. Okay. Now the issue we are facing is I have assigned a private variable. Let me check what we are doing wrong. So now we would be looking to how to debug this code. We were trying to make a private method. Why do we make private method? So that we cannot so that anyone except us cannot access the data the which is present in the class. So for that, suppose I want students data, and first I would be making attributes for it. Suppose I take name and grade as an attribute. And I don't want that anyone can access my data. So for that, I would be making a private method, and in private method we also make a private variable. Now how we would making a private variable? So simply first, like we were doing in earlier cases, self dot. But in this case, we would be using two underscore. That suggests it is a private variable. So after that, we would be writing our name. And for grade also, we would make a private variable so that someone cannot see the grade and name of a student. Now, suppose I want to print the name. So I would make it a method. I can say display. And also in that, I would write my self keyword. After that, I want to print my name. So I would simply write self dot name. In while we are printing, we would also use our two underscores, which would suggest that we are printing a private variable. So after doing this, what would be our next step? It would be to create an object. So suppose I create a student object in which I would be assessing my values. So suppose for example, I give it Rohan. Now I would be calling my method with the help of the object that is our student. Now if I try to print, let's see what's the outcome. It is giving an error student dot init missing one positional argument. So we have not given our argument that is grade. So let's suppose I give grade as well. Now if I print, it is printing Rohan. Why? Because we only want to print our name. Like I have also shown in my method that we are printing only name. But why it was giving error? Because as we have studied earlier in positional arguments, we have to give both the variables or parameters. Python by default is not much intelligent that it would suggest that we only want name. So we have to fill both the gaps, both the arguments. So that's why in the first place I filled Rohan and in the second I filled the grade. So this was how we can make a private variable. This is a very important concept. Let me take the example of car as well. Suppose I have a class car and I define some attributes for it. Suppose I can have its name and you can say color. So first I define my attributes. Now after this, what would be our next step? We would define our methods, post display. Okay, so I like I have told you, we are making private variables, so we use two underscores like this. Now we want to display. Suppose I want to display both the name and the color. So I would be printing like I suppose like I have told you, f is used to give f is used to basically print something. So I would write the name. So for that, if I want to write name, so I would be enclosing it in a curly brace so that the name should be printed, not self dot name should be printed. So the name of uh, the name of the car, or we can print something different. We can print the color. For that, self dot color of the uh, car. So for that, the color of the Honda. So suppose I want to print Honda, so I would write self dot color. The color of Honda. Suppose I want to print the red color of the Honda is brilliant. So now if I try to print it, first I would make a method, sorry, object, and would call my class for uh, my color, which is first we want to print the name. So I would give Honda, and color we can give anything for black. So the sentence would be the black color. Suppose I write here color. The black color of the would be writing here name. So the black color of the Honda car is brilliant. So suppose I want to print this. Now I would be calling my method with car.display. So now if I print it, it is giving error. Why? Let me check why it is giving error. Okay, I have written wrong spelling of display. So if I write like this, now I print. Okay. So like it it is a general mistake because we mostly use public variable till now. So this mistake can be happen from anyone. I have not given two underscores, which suggests it is a private variable. So I have to give it. Now if I print, you can see the black color of the Honda car is brilliant. So in this way, we can also print our private method. These are some small mistakes which can be done by anyone. So we have to take in mind if we do regular practice. So it can be easily covered. You don't have to worry. Otherwise, if you would try to debug like I was doing, you can easily find these mistakes. So we have done our inheritance also. Sorry, our private method also. Now we would be moving to where we have some doubts, which was in our how to upgrade our attributes with the help of objects. Now I was not able to solve this. Let me debug it also. So we were having a class student in which we have attributes name and grade. It was perfectly done. Now I want to upgrade the grade. So I use display details method in which I write a new variable which is new grade and I give it a name self.grade is new grade. So if I try to print now, let me see what the error it is giving. Let me run it in a new terminal. Due to some, I guess, VS Code error, it is not running. But if you try to run it in your system, it would definitely run. Otherwise, if it doesn't still run, you can let me know in the comment section. I would be responding to each and every one of you if someone doesn't uh, clear this problem. So basically, the output would be first the grade of student was A and now it is upgraded to B. So now we have also now let's see what we have done till now. Well, first of all, we have learned about classes, how to build a class. Uh, Now also we have seen how to upgrade our attributes, update our attributes. I can change here, update our attributes. Also, we have seen inheritance, how we can take the properties of another class by adding our properties as well to the existing class, or you can say to the child class. Also, we have seen data abstraction and data encapsulation. For hiding data, we use private variables. Now, the one more concept is pending our that is method overriding. I would be teaching it with an example. Let me first make a code, then I would be explaining it step by step. Suppose I have a class shape. Okay, so in which I am defining, you can say the shape, which is I am taking an attribute. So I would write simply self.shape, or you can say I am taking the color of the shape. It can be any shape. So I am making it a public variable now. So this was our shape. Now we have seen this. It is a very uh, simple way to create our class. Now suppose I have another shape, another class, sorry, which I name as sphere and which is inheriting some properties of shape. Okay, so In this also, if we define our attributes, we can say self, comma, color. So now we have taken shape already as an attribute. Now if we want one more thing to be added in it, we have inherited shape from it. But if we want the name of the shape as well, so we can simply write name in our attribute. And in this, I would be defining our color as well as shape. So let me take one more color also here. And one more thing, that is shape, which is I am giving a name sphere. Now, what does method overriding does is it helps basically you can say it helps our inheritance to utilize its full potential. So with the help of method overriding, we can fully use our you can say inheritance. Let's see how. Let's suppose I have this you can say shape. Sorry, we have our shape class. So I want to print the number of sides of a shape. So for that, what I would be doing is I would use a method def number of sides, which is taking self parameter. Now what it would be doing is it would be basically printing the number of sides. So I can write print number of sides like this. Now what we do in method overriding is we use the same method which have we have used in our parent class, and we are just adding some property of our you can say we are just adding some property in our child class. Like suppose in shape class we have our color attribute, so we print. But if we want in the sphere class our shape attribute as well, so we can also print that by using method overriding. So now when I print it, uh, so and we have to use the same methods both the times. So if I do this, suppose I want to print self dot shape, so it would print self dot shape. Now okay, I didn't have make a object, so let me make a object. For that I have given a value for color as for red, for name sphere. Okay, so I would be writing shape here. Okay, I forgot to call it. Now if I print it, it is returning square. Now from very basics, let me tell you again. First we make a class shape in which I have defined only one attribute, that is our color. And in suppose that method which we have defined in shape, it is only printing number of sides. Now suppose in scare method, I want color as the same attribute as it was used in shape, and also I want another attribute that I can simply override. That I can simply add, like we have talked about in inheritance, to add some extra properties while taking the, you can say, while taking the parent class, while inheriting the properties of parent class, we can add our functionality. So in that way, I have add my shape functionality as well. So we have to use the same method so that method overriding can work. So we have used the same method. You can see number of sides is present in shape and sphere, both classes. So I have take number of sides as my parameter, method. Now in that I would be using self as my parameter. Now whatever I wrote in our sphere class in the method, that would be printed, and that is printed. I When I call my class, it is printing square. So you can see square is printed. This is called method overriding. First number of sides was printed, then when we use method overriding, it prints our self dot shape, which was square. So this was the concept of method overriding. Now there is one more important concept, which is encapsulation. Like we have talked about encapsulation, it's the same. Basically, we are merging our data and functions. So, uh, and by the help of functions, we are assessing our data, or by the uh, help of methods. Methods and functions are same as I have told you. So by the help of methods or functions, we are assessing our data. So this was encapsulation. And so this was our OOPS chapter. Now we have covered each and every concept, and hopefully I don't think so you have any doubt in it. It is a little complex chapter and a little difficult, but uh, s- if you do 2 to 3 times practice of this chapter, you can easily crack it. So if you have any doubt still, you can ask me in the comment section, and I would be attaching the link of the complete playlist uh, in the description box. Uh, uh, our one chapter is left, that is our file handling, which we would be covering next. So if you have still any doubt, you can ask me in the comment section without any hesitance. So uh, after after this lecture, I don't think so you have any doubt in hopes. But still, if you have any doubt, you can let me know in the comment section, as I have told you. So thanks for now, and please practice the questions of this chapter from the website that I've told you, Geeks for Geeks, or any platform you can choose like LeetCode or anything. So thank you, and do like, share, and subscribe to get such contents exclusively. Thanks.